Hello students, how are you all? Fine? Okay. Once again we are going to study production function. We will be recapitulating what we have studied before. We have studied about what are the different time periods which a producer gets for production. We know that producer gets 3 time periods: market period, short period and long period. Market period is the period where producer has very little time so that he can neither increase labor nor capital. So in market period, output also does not change as factors are fixed. In short run time period, we know that producer has got more time than market period, but it is still not enough to increase all the factors. So one factor changes in short run time period, whereas all other factors remain fixed. Third was long run time period, where all the factors are variable. So there is no differentiation between fixed and variable factors because all the factors in long run time period are variable. Today we will be studying after that what is the meaning of law of variable proportion or law of diminishing returns. They both are same things. According to this law, when in short run time period a producer increases a variable factor by keeping all the other factors fixed, then after a certain stage marginal product of the variable factor starts decreasing. Okay, once again I repeat, law of variable proportion or law of diminishing returns states that if a producer continues to increase variable factor on a fixed factor, then after a stage marginal product of the variable factor starts decreasing. Okay, so first we have to see what is the meaning of this variable proportion. It is called as variable proportion because proportion of the factors changes, varies. Proportion is not fixed. For example, if capital is fixed and labor is variable, like on a piece of land a producer increases labor, so land will be the capital here because capital is a factor which undergoes depreciation, and when we continuously use the land will lose its value because its productivity decreases. That is why it is going it is undergoing depreciation, means it will be capital. For example, 1 unit of capital and 1 unit of labor. So what is the proportion here? Proportion will be 1K upon 1L. 1 unit of capital 1K upon 1 unit of labor 1L. Now if capital remains same and labor increases, ratio has decreased from 1 to 0.5. 1 by 2. Same way, capital remaining fixed, labor increases. So we see that this ratio 1 upon 1, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3 is changing, is variable. That is why such law is called as law of variable proportion. Ratio and proportion are changing. Okay. Now what does this law states? We will see What does this law states? This law states that when we increase labor on same unit of capital, then our output will not be increasing at the same rate. It will start decreasing after a certain stage. For example, unit of land, labor, marginal product, total product. So, through this table, we will study about law of variable proportion. Now, land is the fixed factor as it is constant, one unit of land, one labor. When one labor works on 1 unit of land, then he gives output of 10. And since only one labor is used, so total will also be 10. As we have seen in the last class, that marginal product, total product and average product remain same at first unit of variable factor. Now, on same piece of land remains 1 itself. Now labor has increased to 2. But this second labor has given us the output of 12. So total product, total output by first labor and second labor will be sum of marginal product, that will be 10 plus 12 is equal to 22. Means 2 laborers working on the same land will give us output of 22. See, here it was 10 and here it is 12. Now when we have added the third labor on the same piece of land, he has given us increasing output, that is 15. So total product was 10, then 12 was added, it has become 22, and then 15 was added, it has become 37. So this stage where marginal product is increasing, is called as first stage. This is also called as stage of increasing returns. Stage of increasing returns. In this stage of increasing returns, total product, all of you please note that when marginal product is increasing, total product will increase at an increasing rate. What does this mean? At an increasing rate, increasing at an increasing rate. This means that total product was 10 when labor increased from 0 to 1, means first labor has added 10. If same unit of output would have been given by second labor, means he has also given us marginal product of 10, then this total product would have been 10 plus 10, 20, but it is 22, means second labor is adding more than the first labor, due to which total product had increased by 10. If it would have been 0, total product would have been increased by 10, and later it has increased more than the initial labor. That is why it is called as, it is increasing also and increasing at an increasing rate from 1 to 3. Okay. Now from third labor to here, this is called as second stage. Here we see that marginal product has started decreasing because labor is increasing but capital or land has not increased. So marginal product starts decreasing. This is what is called as law of diminishing returns. If we increase variable factor on the same fixed factor, then after a certain stage, marginal product of the additional variable factor starts decreasing. We will see the causes, but let us first, this is called as decreasing returns. And later, if we continue to increase variable factor on same piece of fixed factor, same unit of fixed factor, then our output will, marginal product of the additional factor will turn 0 and negative. This is called as third stage. So this is called as negative returns. Okay, this is called as negative returns. So we have to analyze. Marginal product is just the output given by one additional factor. First labor 10, second labor 12, third labor 15, fourth labor 10. First, second, third and fourth. This is the individual output of these labors. But total product means 2 labors, 3 labors. So in this we have to add output of all the labors used till that point. For example, third labor gives us the output of 15, but 3 labors together has given us the output of 37. How has it come? 10 plus 12 plus 15. First labor 10, second labor 12. So at second labor we have used 2 labors. So total output is 22, and then 15 labors, total output is 37. So in this way we get total product. Okay, now let us further see the relation. So we have seen the relation between marginal product and total product. So in first stage where marginal product is increasing, TP increases at increasing rate. It means once again that speed of increase in TP is increasing. Like in first, when one labor was used, marginal product was 10 and total product was also 10. But when 2 labors are used, marginal product is 12 and total product is 22. Means initially only 10 output was added by first labor and second labor had added 12. So instead of 10, more is added. So TP will increase and its rate is also, its speed is also increasing. This is what is called as stage of increasing returns. Now, second point is when MP is decreasing, in second stage we see that after 15 marginal product has come to 10, means fourth labor has added less than the third labor. So TP will increase, but speed of TP, how much addition is taking place in TP, that has decreased. At third labor we have seen that 15 output was added, 15 units were added, and at fourth labor we have seen only 10 is added. That is why TP has increased from 37 to 47. but its speed increase in speed is decreasing. So TP will increase but at a decreasing rate. This is called as stage of decreasing returns. Now, when we have continued adding the variable factor labor, then we see that marginal product has turned to 0 and negative. When MP is 0, TP will be maximum. And when MP is negative, TP starts decreasing. These are the three fundamental points which show the relation between MP and TP. These two we have seen. Now let us see what is this. See, as we have seen in the formula that sum of marginal product is called as total product. So marginal product decides how much is being added in the TP. When marginal product was positive, before sixth labor, means up to fifth labor, marginal product was positive, means some positive number is being added in total product. So total product goes on increasing. But when marginal product goes to negative zone, goes in the negative zone, means now nothing positive will be added. Instead, some output will be deducted because marginal product will turn negative. So addition in the total product will stop when marginal product is 0. That was at the sixth unit of labor in our table which we have seen just now. Okay, and after that, when marginal product is negative, addition in TP will not take place. Instead, some output will be deducted because additional labor will be giving us negative marginal product. So TP will decrease when marginal product is negative. Do note this point. When MP is increasing, so TP will increase and its rate will also increase, means speed of addition in TP will also increase. That is called as first stage. In second stage, when MP starts decreasing but TP will not decrease because MP remain positive, so TP will increase but its speed of increase will decrease. That is why we have written TP will increase but at a decreasing rate. This is called as stage of diminishing returns. This stage is only given as law of diminishing returns. And when MP is 0, nothing will be added in TP, so TP will be maximum. And when MP is negative, TP starts decreasing. This was the relation between MP and TP. Okay, now let us see how we show the relation between TP and MP on a diagram. So we know that marginal product is the chief factor and it decides how much addition in total product will take place. So marginal product will be drawn first. Since labor is the variable factor, so we have to draw the labor here. We have to point out the labor on x-axis and marginal product will be here. So we know that marginal product first increases and then it decreases and comes in the negative zone. This is the highest point, means this will be the third labor. At third labor we have seen that marginal product was highest, and at sixth labor we have seen that marginal product was 0, and after that marginal product has turned into negative territory. Okay, now what will be the shape of total product? That is very important. So total product will be on y-axis and labor will be on x-axis. So we know that this point where marginal product is maximum, that point will come down. This will be the third lever. This territory is called as the stage of increasing returns. This territory will be called as stage of decreasing returns. After that, see, total product will be a line which will be having increasing slope. Let us see what is the meaning of increasing slope. And this is total product. How we have drawn this? See, in first stage, this is called as increasing returns, stage of increasing returns. Stage of increasing returns means this will be the first stage. So in first stage, marginal product is increasing. Marginal product is increasing, as we see that marginal product is increasing with every additional labor. So in this territory, slope of TP will increase. See, slope is moving. See, in the first stage, TP is moving like this. This means that what is the slope of a curve? Slope of a curve is, slope of a line or curve is equal to delta y upon delta x. On y-axis we have plotted TP, so change in TP. On x-axis we have plotted labor, so change in labor. This is nothing else but the formula of marginal product. So we have to show that marginal product is increasing. That is why labor will remain constant. See, labor will remain constant. This area is constant. This is the area for x-axis. Labor is constant and this gapping is going on increasing. Means TP is increasing at increasing rate. This speed of gap of TP is increasing. Means with every additional labor, more and more output is added in total product. That is what is called as stage of increasing returns. Now, in second stage, TP is increasing at increasing rate. At increasing rate, slope of TP is increasing. Slope of TP is, but TP is nothing else but marginal product. In second stage we see that marginal product starts decreasing. In second stage, MP is decreasing. So we see that shape of TP has changed. Now it is more bent towards labor. Means labor is increasing at constant rate. Means total product is increasing, but see, increasing, it will increase up to this point. Most of the students, they draw like this, and MP is still positive. So this diagram is wrong. Up to 6th labor, MP will be positive. So TP will increase, but its rate is decreasing. So TP is increasing, but slope of TP is decreasing. Slope of TP is decreasing. That is why initially we have seen that the curve was more inclined towards total product, and in second stage it is more inclined towards x-axis. And after this, here at TP is maximum. Why? Because MP is 0, and after this TP is decreasing. Third stage, MP is negative, So TP decreases. Important thing, from this point slope of TP is changing. So at the end of first stage and starting of second stage slope of TP changes, so it is called as point of inflection. Point of inflection, this is called as point of inflection. It is the point where MP is highest, means after this point MP will decrease, and due to which slope of TP will start changing. So point of inflection is the point from where slope of TP changes from increasing rate, TP is increasing at increasing rate, and from this point it will increase but at a decreasing rate, and this is the point where TP is maximum. Okay, so what we have seen? We have seen three things, three stages. In the first stage MP is increasing, so TP is increased at increasing rate, due to which it is shown at the steep slope. After that MP is decreasing, so slope will be less steep. After this, when MP is turning negative, TP will start decreasing. So law of variable proportion, our main point, our topic of this today's class is law of variable proportion. It states that if we continue to increase variable factor on same fixed factor, then a stage will come from where MP will start decreasing, means second stage. This is called as decreasing returns, stage of decreasing returns. Okay, so this was the things we have studied till now. This is what is called as law of variable proportion. Now let us see what are the causes for these increasing returns and decreasing returns. This is the most important question from this chapter, relation between TP and MP and law of variable proportion. So what are the causes for increasing returns in the first stage? In first stage, first is fuller or complete utilization of the fixed factor. Fuller or complete utilization of the fixed factor. As we know that every machine or a piece of land has an optimum utilization capacity, optimum production capacity. Okay, like when a machine, for example a coffee machine need 3 to 4 workers to operate efficiently. If only one person is operating the full coffee machine, the same person is pouring the powder, same person is going to switch on and switch off the switch, and same person is withdrawing the output. So machine will not run for its full capacity, but when we add one more labor, it will start working towards its full capacity, complete utilization. That is why in the first stage, variable factor is added, is used, is increased on fixed factor on that machine or land, then the machine runs towards its full capacity. For example, suppose a hectare of land requires 4 laborers or 4 workers, so that full use of that 1 hectare of land can be used or can be utilized. Only 1 labor is used, means it requires more laborers for its complete utilization. So in the first stage, when additional labor are added, that land or machine runs towards its full capacity. Best example is for bus. Suppose there is only 1 person operating the bus. The same person is the driver, the same person is the conductor, and same person is the cleaner. So if bus was expected to run 3 times a day from Gorakhpur to Lucknow, it will run only once in the whole day, because the person will drive the bus and stop the bus at different places, cut the ticket, and he will also have to do the cleaning. But when 1 additional worker is added, means now there are 2 workers working on the same bus. The driver will be used only for driving, and the second person will be doing the cleaning and conductor jobs. Now, if 1 more labor is added, now bus has run towards its full capacity. So at third, when 3 laborers are added, when 3 laborers are used on that bus, the bus or the machine, the fixed factor run towards its full utilization. That is why marginal product increases in the first stage. The second reason is specialization or division of labor. Division of labor. It is also called as specialization. The students who all have opted commerce as a subject, they might be knowing that the both are synonyms. What is the meaning of division of labor? When we see that only 1 person was operating on the bus, he was expected to do the driving, conductor, and cleaning. So he was using his efficiency for more number of works. So he will not be devoted to any one particular work. So he will not become specialized in any of the work, because every now and then a person who is doing multiple works is expected to make mistakes. But if 1 person is doing the driving work in the whole day and he is not devoted to any other work, then he is expected to become a specialist, or his efficiency will increase prior to that person who is doing multiple jobs. So when additional workers are added, a particular person is expected to work on a particular work. So division of labor, when labor is added, work gets divided into different parts, and that is why when 1 person working on same function every day, he will be getting more and more efficiency. For example, in the medical shop we have seen that there are many people who are allotted different areas. In a big medical shop, a person is allotted different areas. 1 person is expected that is asked to give this medicine. So he knows where is that medicine is kept. If there is only 1 person in the whole shop, then he will run throughout the shop, because large number of work is given on same person. So his efficiency will be less. Efficiency means doing the piece of work in less time. So when additional labors are added, work gets divided. Labor means work gets divided. So a particular person gets a particular piece of work. So his efficiency will increase. That is why benefits of specialization will be reaped. Now third point is better coordination between fixed and variable factor. What does this point says? This point says that when a person works on the same machine, works on the same piece of work, then coordination between that machine and that particular person improves. So coordination between fixed and variable factor improves. For example, if a student gets to ride a bicycle daily, he gets to ride the same bicycle daily, he will be knowing the pros and cons of the bicycle better than the other person. So marginal product will increase as he operates day to day. So these are the causes of increasing returns. Rest we will be seeing in the next class. Thank you very much.